Ever found yourself in a situation so bizarre, so utterly terrifying, that it felt like a nightmare you couldn't wake up from? Imagine this. You're just trying to survive, but the world around you seems determined to throw everything it has at you. Not just the fury of Mother Nature, but the unpredictable chaos of human nature as well. Today, we're diving deep into a story that masterfully weaves together murder, mayhem, and a case of mistaken identity, all set against the backdrop of a world teetering on the edge of collapse. This isn't just a tale of survival. It's a chilling exploration of what happens when the worst of humanity clashes with the raw power of the planet. Our story begins not with a bang, but with a whisper. The low rumble of an approaching storm, a premonition of the chaos to come. The characters, a group of strangers thrown together by circumstance, are already on edge. They're dealing with their own demons, their own secrets. But as the storm outside intensifies, so does the storm within their small, isolated shelter. A natural disaster is a terrifying force on its own. It's impartial, a powerful, unthinking agent of destruction. But what happens when you introduce human malice into that equation? What happens when the person you're huddled with for safety might be more dangerous than the hurricane-force winds rattling the windows? This is where our narrative takes its first dark turn. It explores the fascinating and often horrifying conflict between human behavior and a natural disaster. Think about it. During a crisis, we expect people to band together, to show solidarity. But this story flips that expectation on its head. The disaster doesn't unite our characters. It exposes their deepest flaws. Paranoia festers. Old grievances resurface. The stress of survival cracks the fragile veneer of civilization, revealing the selfishness, greed, and fear lurking beneath. The raging storm becomes a mirror, reflecting the tempestuous and destructive nature of the people trapped within it. They're not just fighting the elements, they're fighting each other, turning a struggle for survival into a deadly game of cat and mouse. And just when you think things can't get any more intense, the story introduces a supernatural element. Now, this isn't just for cheap scares. It's a clever narrative device used to heighten the suspense and, more importantly, to critique the characters' actions. Are the strange occurrences, the whispers in the dark, the fleeting shadows, truly ghosts from another realm? Or are they manifestations of the group's collective guilt and paranoia? The supernatural phenomena blur the line between reality and delusion, forcing both the characters and us, the audience, to question what's real. It acts as a moral compass, a spectral judge passing sentence on their increasingly desperate and depraved actions. Every creak of the floorboards, every unexplained cold spot, serves as a reminder that their choices have consequences, perhaps even ones that extend beyond the mortal coil. This ambiguity is what makes it so terrifying. The unknown from without and the unknown from within become one and the same. The core tension of the story is the relentless conflict between human actions and the natural disaster. It's a vicious cycle. The storm isolates them, cutting them off from the rest of the world and any hope of rescue. This isolation fuels their paranoia and desperation. A shocking murder occurs, and suddenly, the external threat of the storm is matched by the internal threat of a killer in their midst. The mayhem escalates. The disaster provides the perfect cover for heinous acts. A fallen tree that blocks the only road out isn't just an obstacle, it's a cage. A power outage isn't just an inconvenience, it's a cloak of darkness that hides the hunter from the hunted. The environment becomes an active participant in the horror. The relentless rain washes away evidence. The howling wind muffles cries for help. The natural world, in its indifferent fury, becomes an accomplice to the human evil unfolding. This creates an unbearable sense of claustrophobia and helplessness. There is nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The characters are trapped not only by the storm, but also by their own destructive impulses, their actions, and the disaster feeding into each other in a deadly spiral. Each decision they make to betray one another, to save themselves at the expense of others, is punctuated by a crash of thunder or a flash of lightning, as if nature itself is condemning their fall from grace. At the heart of this twisted tale is a classic case of mistaken identity, and this is where the psychological aspect truly shines. In the chaos and confusion, an innocent person is wrongly accused of the murder. This isn't just a simple mix-up. It's a reflection of the group's deteriorating mental state. They are so desperate for a scapegoat, so eager to find a simple answer to the complex horror surrounding them, that they latch onto the most convenient suspect. Logic is abandoned in favor of fear-driven accusation. The accused becomes a symbol of their collective panic, a target for all their pent-up rage and terror. We watch in horror as this person, who is just as much a victim as everyone else, is hunted by the very people they thought were their allies. Their struggle to prove their innocence becomes the central fight for survival. It's a powerful commentary on how quickly social order can break down, how easily a mob mentality can take hold when people are pushed to their limits. The true killer, meanwhile, moves freely among them, perhaps even leading the charge against the innocent party. This element of mistaken identity transforms the story from a simple survival thriller into a profound psychological drama about justice, perception, and the terrifying fragility of truth in the face of mass hysteria. As the storm finally begins to subside, the true extent of the mayhem is revealed. The shelter, once a symbol of hope, is now a tomb, littered with the consequences of their actions. The survivors, if any, are left to grapple with what they've done. They may have survived the natural disaster, but they are forever scarred by the man-made one they created themselves. The resolution of the mistaken identity plotline is often brutal and tragic, serving as a final, devastating indictment of their behavior. The innocent may be cleared, but often it's too late. The ultimate message is a sobering one. The story critiques our very nature, suggesting that the greatest threat we face isn't always from external forces like storms or floods, but from the darkness that resides within ourselves. It serves as a cautionary tale, asking us a difficult question. When the structures of society fall away, what kind of person will you become? A hero, a victim, or a monster? This tale of survival is twisted not just by external events, but by the internal failings of its characters, leaving us with a chilling and unforgettable exploration of the human condition at its most extreme. This story shows that true survival isn't just about weathering the storm outside, but about conquering the storm within. It's a powerful and thought-provoking narrative that stays with you long after the final credits roll. What do you think? Could you maintain your humanity in a situation like this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive today. If you enjoyed this analysis and want more content that explores the darker side of storytelling, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, stay safe and be good to each other.